So we'll discuss question number 41, and that is a mortgage entitled to charge or obtain any compensation for improvements made to the mortgaged property while it is in his possession? So, in relation to the very answer to this question, we found the provisions of Section 63 of the Transfer Property Act. So we'll discuss leading cases, Shepherd versus Jones. So, the very answer to this question that we found as under Section 63 applies to accession only. There was no express provision in the Act allowing a mortgage to make improvements to the mortgaged property. In the absence of such express provision, it was held in some cases that a mortgagee is not entitled to obtain compensation for improvements made. On the other hand, some courts following the English decision in Shepherd versus Jones, where it was held that a mortgagee was entitled for improvements if they were reasonable. So Section 63A adopts the view of English cases ordinarily entitled to improvements. The object is to prevent the mortgagee from laying out large sum of money and thereby increasing his debt to such an extent as to cripple the power of redemption. If it were not so, a weapon would be put in the mortgagee's hand with which he might greatly clog the right of redemption. This is called improving a mortgager out of his estate. So, if it were not so, then it would be considered as a weapon in the hand of the mortgagee, which he might greatly clog the right of redemption. This is called improving a mortgager out of his estate. Thus, where the amount of mortgage's claim for value of improvement was disallowed, so the mortgager is, however, liable to pay the cost of improvements, which with interest in the following cases. So, one is when it was necessary to preserve the property from destruction or deterioration, or second one, when it was necessary to prevent the security from becoming insufficient, Or thirdly, when it was made in compliance with the lawful order of a public servant or a public authority. And to clarify this, we would like to discuss one illustration, and the very illustration is that a kacha room fell down and the mortgagee built a pakka room and also built a second story. It was held that a pakka room was necessary to preserve the property, but the second story was not necessary. The mortgagee was therefore allowed by the court the very cost of the pakka room only that he built and which was considered as an improvement, while the second improvement of building a second story was rejected as not an improvement. And this is would be the correct and appropriate answer to this question. Is a mortgagee entitled to charge or obtain any compensation for improvements made to the mortgage property while it is in his possession? As while we discuss the very ruling in the leading case, that is Safeguard versus Jones, and also the very provision of section 63A, and how the improvements made on the mortgage property by the mortgagee would be considered as a clog on the right of redemption. Also, the improving a mortgager out of his estate when he would use such kinds of improvements which would be a weapon put in the mortgagee's hands with which he might greatly clog the right of redemption. So, this is the correct answer to this question as we have discussed. So, almost we have finished question number 39, question number 40, and question number 41 with appropriate answers and the relevant provisions in relation to Transfer of Property Act 1882. So also the important decisions as relating to question number 39 as the very observation made by Lord Selborne in the leading case Jennings versus Jordan, and also in question number 41 the very decision in the leading case Safeguard versus Jones. So in our upcoming video we would like to discuss question number 42, and that question number 42 relates to when a mortgaged property can be sold without the intervention of the court, subject to what conditions is the power to be exercised, what is the effect of such sale, can these conditions be valid by agreement between the parties? Explain and examine the above statements. So that we will discuss in our upcoming video.